Hey all, here at OS Reviews, you're watching our hands-on review of the Mpow T5, another pair of Bluetooth 5.0 TWS wireless earbuds. So we've been seeing quite a few of these recently, and in my opinion, this product category has reached maturity. When I first saw these cheaper TWS earbuds about a year or two ago, they sounded pretty bad. There was a lot of lag, there's a lot of latency, and the sound quality was just not good. But after Bluetooth 5.0 was updated for the past few months, I've been very impressed with the sound across all of them. There's not really a huge difference, in fact. So it is now becoming a game where manufacturers are just designing different battery cases, and that's really the only difference between them, at least in my opinion. But here it is, another version that has a leather case, which is a bit more fancy than the typical plastic ones we've seen before. It sells for $50. The Bluetooth 5.0 is made possible by the latest Qualcomm 3026 chip, which supports AptX and AAC, so it should have even better latency and should deliver, again, very crisp audio performance. It has IPX7 waterproof rating, and they will last 7 hours on a single charge. The battery case combined will give you over 42 hours of playback. So battery life, again, is much improved. Packaging here is quite simple. On the back, we just have some simple specs. It does have a microphone, so you can use it to answer phone calls, like a Bluetooth headset. And inside here, we have just the accessories, including the micro USB cable for charging the battery case, a lanyard strap for hanging it onto a backpack. We have some spare silicone tips, and the user manual itself. Taking a closer look at the design of the battery case first, again, that's really the only unique thing about these in particular, aside from the Qualcomm AptX certification for a pretty cheap price. But it is a handcrafted soft leather material. The back here just features a micro USB port for charging, and that's essentially it. LED lights on the front to give you a quick status check of when the battery case is being used and the earbuds are charging inside. It opens up using magnets, and we have some certification logos inside, and then the ear tips themselves just stick in magnetically, and there's double pogo contacts, which ensures a slightly faster charge. But otherwise, they are pretty snug. If it's red right now, it means that they have begun charging. So overall, it's compact, it's pretty attractive, and we have also the lanyard strap on the very top. Otherwise, the design of the earbuds themselves are not the most distinctive thing. In fact, they are pretty generic looking with just a Mpow logo, and these are physical keys that you can press down on. They're not touch sensitive. It kind of reminds me of the first generation of QCY's Q29, which were really the very first beginning of TWS earbuds using Bluetooth 4.1 from over 2 years ago. But as far as the size is concerned, here's a quick comparison with the Tiamat Force, which I think are a little bit more stylish, but again, we have a softer leather material here. The battery case is a little bit longer. The Tiamat Titan, that we also did a recent review on, you can see has about the same dimensions for the battery case. It's a little bit thinner, but it's also a little bit longer as well. And finally, these are the Pamu Scroll, which were the Kickstarter-backed TWS earbuds that we reviewed about 2 months back that also has a leather case. So these are pretty similar in that sense, but the Mpow here are available directly. Moving into audio quality and performance, it's essentially cut and paste. So if you haven't heard me say it before, Bluetooth 5.0 TWS earbuds are night and day better than Bluetooth 4.0, 4.1, and 4.2 versions that we saw a year back, because those had terrible latency and the audio wasn't synced, there was almost no bass at all, there's a lot of static, but all of that has been pretty much fixed in these 5.0 earbuds. And for listening to anything from classical music to pop music to, country, rock, you'll be very impressed and pleased, I think, with the performance considering the budget price against something like the Apple AirPods. They stay pretty snugly into my ears, even though there isn't a larger wing. So if you are using these for exercise, they are snug, but perhaps they're not going to be as tight as something that's exclusively designed for sports. But otherwise, again, there's more bass than really you'll be expecting for such a small little earbud. You definitely can feel it if you are playing back a bass-boosted or EDM track. Otherwise, again, because of the great latency, you can watch movies on YouTube and it feels very comfortable. There's no popping. You don't suddenly lose one of the earbuds. So listening to these is a joy, and combined with the good battery performance, there's not really anything to complain about, especially at this price point. Now, they're still not going to be audiophile grade. I would say wired earbuds or in-ear monitors are still the way to go if you care about audio quality 100%. But for the average consumer, someone who wants something easy to use and wireless, I think these are a good option if you like the leather case that Mpow have designed here, because really that's the only thing that's different. But thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been the Mpow T5.